Thomas Mantell, Felix Monclaw Jr., and Roger Wilson. What sets these three military pilots apart from all others is not that they were killed in the line of duty, but the fact that they died chasing UFOs. On January 7, 1948, World War II ace Captain Thomas Mantell was leading a group of 4 F-51 Mustang fighters on a routine mission over Kentucky. Unknown to Mantell at the time, Kentucky State Police were receiving reports of a large, circular UFO, first over Mansville, then Irvington, then Owensburg. The police soon relayed the information to Godman Army Airfield at Fort Knox. By the time the call was made, the UFO could clearly be seen on the radar by military personnel in the Godman Control Tower. It was described by witnesses as being very large, round, white in color, and having a red light on its underside. With Mantell's group already in the air, the decision was made to send them to identify the UFO and, if necessary, to intercept it. One of the Mustangs continued on the planned flight path, leaving 3 planes to pursue the UFO. The group reached an altitude of 15,000 feet when 2 of the planes had to descend because their pilots were quickly running out of oxygen. Mantell, however, continued his pursuit of the UFO and reached nearly 25,000 feet. Mantell radioed the Godman Tower and said this: "The object is directly ahead of and above me now, moving at about half of my speed. It appears to be a metallic object or possibly reflection of the sun from a metallic object, and it is of tremendous size. I am still climbing. I'm trying to go in close for a better look." Those words were the last ever heard from Thomas Mantell. His plane went into a dive and crashed at 3:16 p.m. near Franklin, Kentucky. The UFO soon cleared Kentucky airspace and was reported over Tennessee before disappearing. The most likely cause of the deadly crash is that Mantell simply went too high, ran out of oxygen, and passed out. The real mystery of the story is what it was that Mantell and the others were chasing, and the answer to that remains unknown. The next, and as far as we know, only other deadly encounter between the U.S. military pilots and a UFO occurred on November 23, 1953, when radar operators at Truax Air Force Base in Madison, Wisconsin, saw an unidentified blip on their screens. The UFO was located near the U.S.-Canadian border, and an F-89 Scorpion jet fighter was sent up to investigate. The plane was piloted by First Lieutenant Felix Monclaw Jr., with Second Lieutenant Roger Wilson serving as the onboard radar officer. With the speed capabilities of the Scorpion, Monclaw should have quickly reached the UFO, but the unknown craft appeared to make evasive maneuvers, which made it impossible for Lieutenant Wilson to track the craft with the onboard radar. The UFO did, however, remain on the ground radar at Truax, and the information was relayed from the ground to Lieutenant Monclaw. The ground radar clearly showed 2 blips approaching each other, then merging. The hope was that Monclaw's fighter and the UFO had simply passed above or below one another, but a second blip never re-emerged. There was no further contact with Lieutenant Monclaw's Scorpion, and the UFO soon vanished from the screen. The Air Force explanation came quickly. They claimed that Monclaw had a history of suffering from vertigo. This seems quite unlikely, as Monclaw would not have been allowed to fly if vertigo posed as a safety concern. They went on to say that what Monclaw and Wilson were pursuing was a Canadian aircraft. That claim was refuted by the Royal Canadian Air Force. There was also a theory that the plane exploded, which is possible. However, no debris of the Scorpion was discovered in the massive search for the downed aircraft. In 2006, a company called the Michigan Diving Company claimed to have discovered the remains of Monclaw's plane at the bottom of Lake Superior. However, those claims and the Michigan Diving Company both turned out to be a hoax. To this day, there is no trace of the plane, and its crew has never been found. Thank you for coming here. I appreciate it. Please do me a favor, and if you like my channel, click the like button. Please subscribe. And since there's a glitch on YouTube currently, please also click the bell button next to the subscription button, and that way you will be notified when all of my content is updated to YouTube, and I would really appreciate that. Thank you.